Okay, everyone. Today we will study about our own respiratory system. Respiratory system is a system when we breathe and we flow the oxygen inside our body and let it go throughout the body. Okay, let's go to the journey of how we breathe. First, the air that we breathe will come through our nose. When the air gets inside our nose, it will get filtered by our nose hair. So, dust will gather inside our nose and it will not get inside our lungs. The result of this filter is, you could say, you made some kind of booger inside of your nose. But that's the way we do, how the body does, and it's normal. It's just dust that has been accumulated from all days and it will become booger and you just throw it out. From our nose, the air will get inside the windpipe. Now, this windpipe is a tube that flow our air into our lungs. Because we have two lungs, there is a branch, which we call as a bronchi, that breaks the flow of the air to go to each lungs. Now, let's see what is inside the lungs. So, inside of each lungs, we have a lot of air sacs. Now, these air sacs called alveoli. This is where the oxygen that we need being transferred inside the blood in exchange of carbon dioxide. And we breathe out, the carbon dioxide will get out of our body. Now let's take a look of the process of breathing. So when we breathe into our body, it's not that our lungs become bigger, no. In fact, the rib cage moves outwards and upwards, while the thin muscle below our lungs, which we call diaphragm, will move downward, so it will make a bigger space in our chest. So, the lungs does not get bigger by its own. It gets bigger because of the diaphragm. On the contrary, when we breathe out, the rib cage and the diaphragm will move to the opposite side. So, the rib cage will go downwards and the diaphragm will go upwards. That is the way that we exhale the air from our lungs. Now we will see one kind of illness, or you could say sickness, of our respiratory system, which is asthma. What is asthma? Well, asthma may be caused by an allergy. Do you guys know what is an allergy? Well, allergy occurs usually when our own body overreacts to a certain substance, which normally causes no reaction in other people, like sneezing.
Achoo!
Achoo.
Achoo! Achoo! Achoo!
So, for those who suffer asthma, the immune system inside their lungs will give mucus and closing the airway. So, actually the immune system want to do something good. They sense that they're in danger. However, it's a false alarm. So, it makes the body close the airways. So, if it gets closed, those who suffer asthma will have a really hard time to breathe. Unfortunately, there is no cure for asthma. But the asthma attack can be prevented by identifying what caused the allergy and not use that kind of substance. So, for helping the patient, they need something called inhaler. Inhaler is a medicine that helps the sufferer of asthma to push the airways so the airways will go through their lungs. Okay, let's move on. After looking into our respiratory system, let's look into the animals. Well, most land animals have lungs and breathe through their nostrils, like us. You could say that all of the mammals and birds breathe with their lungs through their nostrils. However, there are some animals that don't breathe with their lungs. Insects, for example, like butterflies, grasshoppers, and dragonflies, have openings on their body, while earthworms breathe through their moist skin. For the animals who live in the water, they have their own respiratory system, except for mammals who live in the water like dolphin and whales. For dolphin and whales, they need to go out of the water to breathe in the air. So, actually, dolphin and whales are holding their breath while they are inside the ocean for a long period of time. They can do that because that's how they live. Fish, however, have gills. Gills are needed to filter the oxygen from the water. It is just unfortunate that they cannot live outside of the water because they need water to live. Although frogs, turtles are different, we call them as amphibians. That means they can live inside and outside of the water. Frogs, for example, they breathe with their lungs when they're on land, and when they are in the water, they breathe through their moist skin like the worm. Alright, everyone, that is our lesson about respiratory system from human and also from animals. So let us continue with our activity, shall we?